Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. All praises to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Kal Halayim La, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. I want to thank the Most High Yahawah for giving me the inspiration for doing this lesson. Put a spirit upon me to do this lesson. Shalom to all the sincere Akim out there listening to this gospel. Hope this message find you in good health. Shalom to the hopeful elect of Israel and all the sincere brothers out there doing this work in truth and sincerity. This lesson here, hope is very quick, edifying, and to the point. Got a little bit I have to cover here, but just want to get into this video here of the current conflicts going on in the world. This is all prophecy, by the way. This is all prophecy. 2 Ezra 15 verse 1. It says, Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people. Who is the Lord's people? Israel, the 12 tribes. So-called Negro, so-called Latino, so-called Native American. It says, Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Yes. The word is a spirit and life. This word is spirit and life. John 6:63. The words that I speak to you, they're spirit and life. Yes, this is the engrafted word. I don't care whether you believe it or not. Book of Romans 3 verse 3. So I'm going to bring that up. This is only for a selective few, for the elect of Israel. Romans 3 verse 3 says, For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of Yahawah without effect? No, God forbid. It doesn't matter whether you believe what I'm saying to you or not. It is going to happen. It is going to happen. You can't stop the truth. You can't stop it. This is all prophecy, right? We're not worried about the unbelievers, okay? You see, the Lord says his word does not return void. Anyhow, I will get to the lesson and get started here. We've already been started, but I'll still get to the lesson here and just get to the video now. Let's play. Stand by. Listen to this, family.
Now on Monday, Turkish president urged Israel against indiscriminately attacking civilians in its war with Hamas militants in Gaza. But Recep Tayyip Erdogan also delivered measured criticism of Hamas and urged both sides to respect the ethics of war. A day later on Tuesday, Erdogan criticized the United States for moving a carrier strike group closer to Israel, saying that it would commit serious massacres in Gaza. Analysts say the United States and one of its longtime NATO allies, Turkey, are staring at a complete breakdown in their relationship, and it's unclear if it will ever recover.
Pay attention.
Following a surprise attack by Hamas militants on Israel on Saturday, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said Washington will be moving a carrier strike group, which includes the USS Gerald R. Ford, closer to Israel. Hitting out, Erdogan asked, what will the aircraft carrier of the United States do near Israel? Why do they come? What will boats around an aircraft on it will do? He said, and I'm quoting again, they will hit Gaza and around and take steps for serious massacres there. Erdogan has previously said that Turkey was ready to mediate between Israeli and Palestinian forces to ensure calm. He has fervently backed the Palestinian cause and supported a two-state solution for the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Just days ago, US F-16 warplanes over Syria shot down a Turkish drone. Stating the two countries are NATO partners, Erdogan claimed United States is training and arming all terrorist groups and turning places into bloodbath. Washington and Ankara have a long history of partnership, including years of fending off the Soviets together, but Turkey is openly defying US wishes on a Russian-made weapons purchase. Ankara also blamed a US-based cleric for orchestrating a coup against the government. Turkey even attacked US allies in Syria, throwing the anti-ISIS campaign at the time into chaos.
Family, I will break this down a little bit further here. You see what is happening right now? NATO is split over the war, the Palestinian war. This is what is happening. NATO is split. You see, let's go to all these nations right now, all these nations in the Middle Eastern region, predominantly Muslim, okay? Turkey is showing his alliance. He is Erdogan, they're part of NATO, but they're disagreeing with the head of the beast. They're disagreeing with America. All these nations will come together and band as brothers. All these Arabic speaking nations will come together. 2nd Ezra 15 verse 29. Where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, that is with their military equipment, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. So now you look at a lot of these nations that are all around, from Syria to Libya to Egypt. You know, all these nations, when they'll come together, and they're family. They have alliance to each other. Okay. So now you're seeing all these nations are coming together. This is what the Bible says in the book of 2nd Ezra 15:29, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots. Yes, and they will come, and they are coming. I'll get more into the lesson a bit further, but you see right now there will be no peace in the Middle East. None. There'll be no peace. Doesn't matter who tries to restore calm, which popular leader in the world or famous person. No, there will be no peace in the Middle East. This is all leading to the Third World War. This is it. No, there's no peace. See, the Lord is stirring up these nations to fight. The Lord is stirring up all these nations to fight. Look, many years ago, many years ago, Turkey would have not dared to step to America and say even those words. But no, let's go to the book of Joel for 1 second here. This is what you're seeing right now. The book of Joel 3 verse 10, where it says, bear with me for 1 second. Let the weak say I'm strong. This is what you're seeing right now. Yes, all these nations together, you know, individually, they may not be able to take on America or its allies, but when they come together, they will have that courage. Joel 3 verse 10 says, beat your plowshares into swords. In the past, a lot of these countries focus on the agricultural, but lately they've started investing in nuclear weapons. You know, those ICBM missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles. Yes, they started investing into a lot of the armies and so forth. And that's why it says, and your pruning hooks into spears. Modern day spears, weapons, guns, rockets, bazookas, missiles, you know. And it says, let the weak say, I am strong, because they know they have the support of the other nations. Yes, so you see, there will be no peace in the Middle East. You know, and there will be no peace in the Holy Land until YAHAWASHI return. There will be no peace in Jerusalem until YAHAWASHI return. That's why he's known as the Prince of Peace, Shiloh, right? Let's go to one of my favorite scriptures, as a matter of fact. I say it a lot, but I really do. It gives me goosebumps. Let's go now to the book of Isaiah 9 verse 6. Give me 1 second here. Isaiah 9 verse 6. It is actually, like I say, I bring this up a lot. So if you've been following along, you'll know this is one of the scriptures that it gives me goosebumps, because what it really means. Isaiah 9 verse 6. right to the point. It says, "For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given." This is the point. "And the government shall be upon his shoulder." Yes. This is starting with YAHAWASHI, then King David, and then the 144,000. Those will be men will be comprised of all the rulers, 12,000 from each tribe. Start over. "For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty Power, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace." Shiloh. That is YAHAWASHI right there. And that is what we are waiting for. This kingdom. YAHAWASHI, we're waiting for this wicked, sinful kingdom to be taken out. And then the righteous kingdom, YAHAWASHI's kingdom. Establishments, judgment, and righteousness on this earth. Yes, because right now, Jerusalem is also known as the city of peace. And there's no peace in Jerusalem right now. That alone will tell you that the Lord is not dealing with them right now. The Lord is not dealing with that nation right now. Nope. He's only dealing with the Israelites. And until the true people of the land are returned home, and it's not by no airplane, and it's not by no drone, it's not by no ship. No. Matthew 24, verse 29, 30, and 31 will tell you how the Israelites will be returned home. Yes, it's by the Lord is going to gather his angels. So you know what? Before I butcher that, let me just go right to the point. This is how Matthew 24, let's start at verse 29. This is going to be after the tribulation, immediately after the tribulation. In the midst of all the calamities. Matthew 24, verse 29. "Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened." Why is the sun going to be darkened? For all the smoke and from all the nuclear missiles and everything. "And the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven." So all the missiles. "And the powers of the heavens shall be shaken." The powers of the heavens, that's all the rulers, right? "And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn." The whole world's going to see this. "And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds." Those are going to be the so-called UFOs. That's going to be the chariot. That's the chariots of Israel. That's how YAHAWASHI is going to come in his glory. "The Son of Man in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory." And here's the point. "And shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet." See, trumpets to give warning. "And they shall gather together his elect from the four winds." This is where the Lord has gathered his people all across the world. We were into all these nations. We will look like all the nations. So if you get on a plane and you go back there, you're going off. No, because this is how we can be delivered. This is the only way we can be delivered and brought back to the rightful our land, Jerusalem. "And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet. And they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of the heaven to the other." That is how we get him back there. Okay? That is how we're getting back there. So I'll read this again from here. "For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty Power, the Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace." Shiloh. That is the only time we're going to have peace on this earth. That's the only time Jerusalem's going to have peace, is when the rightful rulers are in the kingdom. Okay? So now let's go back to this article here right now for the left. Erdogan, he goes back and forth, but there was a lot of history. There's a lot of history goes back and forth with a lot of these nations, because as of last year, there was an incident where one of the Swedish diplomats or officials, he actually burned he burned the Quran, and Erdogan was upset and it was over the vote of Sweden. I believe Sweden trying to get into NATO, and Erdogan was voting against it. So they burned the Quran in protest. So a lot of the Muslim countries across the world, they were protesting in the streets. And I was searching for the video, but it seemed to like swept it from the internet. But Biden says, Turkey, you're gonna pay, and then shortly thereafter, America was telling their citizens to leave Turkey, and then followed by that, there was all these, there was all this death toll rate from all these earthquakes, and it was all a death toll amassing over 50,000 people. So when you do the math, you see what really happened, what really transpired, right? It's like they knew what was coming, so they warned their citizens and say, get out of Turkey. And then days later, 50,000 people were killed. So he specifically said, Israel, he did say Turkey is going to pay. That's what Biden has said, right? Now look at this video here, what I just showed you not that long ago. If you remember, a few days ago, a U.S. F-16 fighter jet shot down a Turkish drone over Syria, I believe it was. Yes. So a kingdom divided. Remember, Turkey is part of NATO. A kingdom divided can never stand. And this is what you're seeing right now. You're seeing all these nations. They're having a disagreement. The Lord is putting the spirit on all these nations. And the Lord is the one who's doing this. He's. Let's play this for one quick second again. Actually, you know what? Let me bring it up. Bear with me for 1 second. I want to play 1 second.
On Monday, Turkish president urged Israel against indiscriminately attacking civilians in its war with Hamas militants in Gaza. But Recep Tayyip Erdogan also delivered measured criticism of Hamas and urged both sides to respect the ethics of war. A day later on Tuesday, Erdogan criticized the United States for moving a carrier strike group closer to Israel, saying that it would commit serious massacres in Gaza. Analysts say the United States and one of its longtime NATO allies, Turkey, are staring at a complete breakdown in their relationship, and it's unclear.
There you go. Turkish president has fervently backed the Palestinian cause. So he's part of NATO. And all these other NATO countries from France, Canada, all these countries, they're in full support of Israel. So Erdogan is sitting there. He's like the lone wolf. He's the one sitting there, and he says he's fervently backed the Palestinian cause, right? A kingdom divided can never stand.
If it will ever recover. Following a surprise attack by Hamas militants on Israel on Saturday, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said Washington will be moving a carrier strike group, which includes the USS Gerald R. Ford, closer to Israel. Hitting out, Erdogan asked, what will the aircraft carrier of the United States do near Israel? Why do they come? What will boats around an aircraft on it will do? He said, and I'm quoting again, they will hit Gaza and around and take steps for serious massacres there. Erdogan has previously said that Turkey was ready to mediate between Israeli and Palestinian forces to ensure calm. He has fervently backed the
he's trying to bring a peaceful resolution, but like I said, there will be no peace. Only until YAHAWASHI comes back and establish righteousness on this earth, right? There's no peace. There's no man. There's no one on this planet that can stop this war from going on.
Palestinian cause and supported a two-state solution for the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Just days ago, US F-16 warplanes over Syria shot down a Turkish drone. Stating the two countries are NATO partners, Erdogan claimed United States is training and arming all.
So how do you think that's going to fly? Your own ally shot down your drone. It's breaking down. See, Turkey, US and Turkey started a complete breakdown in ties. Of course, when it's all said and done, he will somehow patch over or just leave NATO. I don't know how it works in terms of the logistics, but a kingdom divided can never stand. They got to be on the same page, right?
Terrorist groups and turning places into bloodbath.
America is the one who's training these terrorist groups, and this is what he's saying publicly.
Washington and Ankara have a long history of partnership, including years of fending off the Soviets together, but Turkey is openly defying US wishes on a Russian-made weapons purchase.
Wow. See that? He's even buying weapons from the so-called, well, the enemy of America. He's buying Russian weapons. So that's like a complete no-no in their eyes.
Ankara also blamed a US-based cleric for orchestrating a coup against the government. Turkey even attacked US allies in Syria, throwing the anti-ISIS campaign at the time into chaos.
Now let's the Lord is Salaki, the Lord is stirring up all these nations to fight. Let's go now to the book of let's go to it's not a time for peace, people. It's not a time for peace. This is war. This is the time for war. There's no backing down, there's no turning down from this. The Lord is getting all these nations together to prepare war. Let's go to the book of Joel 3 verse 9. It says, proclaim, yea, among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. See, look what he was complaining about here as well. Erdogan was complaining about. The Americans are bringing a lot of their warships closer, but this is not the time for peace. Proclaim this among the Gentiles. It says prepare war. The Lord is saying this. Wake up the mighty men. All these nations have to take a side, and this is what you're seeing right now. All these nations have to take a side. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up, because this is what's happened. This is all going to take place in the Middle East, the Valley of Jehoshaphat, right? Which is Armageddon in the Bible, World War III. So now I say this as well because Turkey, Erdogan, he's supporting the cause on the other side as opposed to what NATO is saying. So all these other nations around are upset, from Egypt to Libya, Palestine, to all these Yemen, all these nations, they're upset. So they're forming alliances. They're brothers, they're brotherhood, they're forming an alliance, right? In the last, since 2020, there have been over 1.9 billion identified people of the Muslim faith, Islamic faith. 1.9 billion Muslims on the earth. That is approximately 25% of the world's population. Yes, there will be some that wants no part of it. They're hoping for a peaceful resolution. There are some that's going to be hoping for war. There's some will say enough is enough, and some will say they're praying that this will stop. They will stop. Everybody's going to have a different mindset in terms of what they want to see as a plausible outcome. But it doesn't matter what none of the nations think. This is the Lord. The Lord is stirring up all these nations, putting a spirit on these nations to fight. I don't care what anyone says. Remember, a man's going is not of his ways. It's the Lord who's controlling a man, right? Like he's controlling the mindset. Let's go to this one here for a second here. The history goes back and forth. So when Biden in 2020, Biden made some remarks out of pure ignorance, and Turkey was upset, right? So now let's go to, I'm not going to go into the article. I'm just going to bring up a quick little thing here. This is back in August 2020. It says, Turkey threatens Biden. Tell U.S. it will pay price for criticism. This is just over criticism, okay? The days of ordering Turkey around are over. Goes back to Joel 3 verse 10. Let the weak say I am strong, okay? Let the weak say I'm strong. It says the days of ordering Turkey around are over. But if you still think you can, be our guest. You will pay the price. This is what this article says. This article is from the Jerusalem Post, okay? August 17, 2020. I'm going to read just the first paragraph here. Turkey's leading presidential advisor and top diplomat have slammed U.S. presidential candidate Joe Biden and threatened the U.S. that it will pay the price for criticism of Turkey in a social media video that upset pro-government Turkish voices. Biden was seen speaking months ago and criticizing Ankara's ruling regime. The Turkish president advisor Ibrahim Kalim slammed Biden on August 16, accusing him of ignorance, arrogance, and hypocrisy. All while part of NATO, right? So you're seeing all these nations that are like they go back and forth, but this is what you're seeing here. Kingdom divided can never stand.
Ve Filistinli Müslümanları hedef almasından İsrail polisinin terör ve tetiş eylemleriyle Mescid-i Aksa'yı ve Filistinli Müslümanları hedef almasından duyduğumuz üzüntüyü ve öfkeyi belirtmek istiyorum. Bunun adı zulüm siyasetidir. Kan siyasetidir. Provokasyon siyasetidir. Türkiye bu saldırılar karşısında asla sessiz
So it says Turkey can never remain silent.
ve hareketsiz kalamaz. Mescid-i Aksa'ya el uzatılması, Harem-i Şerif'in kutsiyetinin ayaklar altına alınması bizim kırmızı çizgimizdir. Kudüs'e gerektiğinde canları pahasına sahip
It says our Palestinian brothers and sisters who defended Jerusalem with their lives when necessary
çıkan Filistinli kardeşlerimiz yalnız değildir.
are not alone.
Müslümanların ilk kıblesine yönelik alçak eylemleri
So he's in Turkey. He's the Turkish prime minister. He says he condemned all the acts against the Muslim first.
ülkem ve milletim adına kınıyor. Bu saldırıların bir an önce durdurulması çağrısında bulunuyorum.
As of 2020, there are an estimated 1.9 billion Muslims in the world, making up 25% of the world's total population. Okay?
İsrail polisinin terör ve tetiş eylemleriyle Mescid-i Aksa'yı ve Filistinli Müslümanlar
So clearly he's not happy, right? And he's proclaiming his displeasure, right? He's saying it. You know, he's telling the world, right? So now you look at another thing I found here as well. That one, bear with me. Look at this here. Are Turkey and Greece about to go to war? Greece is also a part of NATO.
Are Greece and Turkey about to go to war? The two countries are NATO members, which would put the treaty organization in a massive commotion. But in recent days, Turkey's President Erdogan has gone so far as to threaten Athens with missile strikes. What's behind the current rise in hostilities? Erdogan is known for his bellicose rhetoric, and the two countries have a long-time territorial dispute. However, the current hostilities started over military exercises in the Aegean Sea. Greece deployed soldiers and weapons on some islands near its coast, and Turkey claims this violates the island's non-military status. But Greece says it's following the law of the sea, and that Turkey has its own powerful military force not far from the islands. The two countries have come to the brink of war 3 times in the last 50 years, but now a new factor might be playing a role. Both countries have an interest in claiming drilling rights in the Mediterranean, hoping to hit energy gold. Right now, most people assume Erdogan is just making threats, but if things deteriorate, NATO might find itself in one of the trickiest situations in its history.
Once again, right, you see that Greece and Turkey at it. They're both NATO countries. So now you play on a team, you have a team of a soccer team, whatever, and you have 2 of your teammates over here having a fight just before you're about to play a soccer match. Then you have another 2 over there brewing before you play the game. What does the coach have to do? The coach have to come in and try to set order and calm the guys down and bring peace. But see, a kingdom divided could never stand. And this is what you're seeing. The Lord is doing all of this. The Lord is doing all this because these nations will form. They have to form an alliance. And you're seeing that they're falling apart just like that. It's basically they're having a chink in the armor right now. It's falling apart. The chain is as strong as its weakest link, right? I just pull up a chink in armor meaning. It says vulnerability. They're vulnerable now. It's becoming weakened. Okay, the chink in one's armor refers to an area of vulnerability. It has traditionally been used to refer for a weak spot in a figurative suit of armor. So, as you're about to go to war, you can't have these nations debating who's this and who's that, who's right and who's wrong. No. You have to these people. You don't have to know that your alliances, so to speak, have your back. No. So this is what we cannot. This is what you can't. What is happening right now? They're forming their own alliances, part of NATO, but inside there's a lot of internal conflict, right? So it's bear with me for 1 second here. But you see, it is the Lord that is this one who sets up all these kingdoms, because you can see that this whole empire, they're falling apart, because you can tell this is the end of their rulership, right? So the Lord is going to put the spirit upon these guys to fight, which they will go to fists and cuffs. They'll go to war. That's prophecy. But it's the one who sets up it's the Lord who sets up these kingdoms, and the Lord is going to bring them down as well. Because all these kingdoms had a time to reign on this earth, right? So, but the Lord's going to bring down this wicked kingdom, and He's the one who's even putting that spirit of pride on them, because they, they have this pride that they can't be taken down, because they have the mindset that their whole system and whole kingdom will continue forever, But it's the Lord who elevates. It's the Lord who puts them in rulership for a short time, but in due time He will elevate the true leaders of the righteous kingdom. Starting with YAHAWASHI, King David, and then the 144,000, 12,000 from each tribe. That will be the kings, the true kings and rulers of the kingdom, right? So let me just bring it up really quick here. Revelation 1 verse 6. It says, and he and have made us kings and priests unto Yahweh and his Father. To him be the glory and dominion forever and ever. Amen. That is in the kingdom, right? So the Lord is raising us up to be kings and priests, so we'll be ministering to all these nations when they're in servitude, when they're in their slavery in the kingdom. But I hope that you've been edified. Until the next time I say, Lord's willing, Shalom Israel.